All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sampson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quizac Education. We started this journey back in about, I think, a decade ago. That's to be very funny enough. And that was when I was in high school. And apparently, uh, something happened that day. I used to be the type that really do not like to learn. I do not like to read my books, but I do prefer to go to street field and play soccer with my friends. And one of these very day, I missed school lesson, which I was supposed to have after school lesson. And I went to my friend's house to call him to get prepared for the normal evening soccer. And to be honest, it's not my fault that I do not like to learn then. It's the same principle that applies to most Nigerian students and if not all African students. And this very day I got to my friend's house, I was ready for him to get ready for the soccer match, but I was watching some program on their TV, and something struck me that day when I saw a program on the TV. I saw some set of students in a class and skill setting, and they were really happy, getting so engaged, learning in the classroom. And I spoke to myself like, what is it that could make these students really having fun with learning this way? But I hate learning. I don't want to see it. The same thing because it's boring, because it looks so much like, uh, it's not fun in this part of the world. So it showed another student who was homesick, and he was basically crying for missing class. That's to show the level of fun these students get when they are learning in their respective classrooms. So it struck me that day, and I got to a state of they've deprived of the basic uh, concept of learning in this part of the world. And I told myself, okay, well, is it that we just take it like that, or we find a solution to this problem by making learning as fun as possible for students that are going to be coming after me and even for myself. So fast forwarded about 10 years back, obviously, we started a solution called Quizac. And today, I'll be presenting to you Quizac. So before the presentation comes, of course, I'm going to present to you a story. And my story begins with a student that is called Roland. Meet Roland. Roland is a student, but finds it very difficult concentrating on his studies. This basically has affected his studies, and his parents feel so sad about this and feels they should take control by forcing Roland to read his books, only for Roland to doze off just 10 minutes after. But in contrast to this, Roland feels very agile and motivated whenever he picks mobile games on his parent devices. But Roland's low attention to learning and high attention to gaming continues to affect his studies. However, everything has changed when we introduced Quizac to Roland. Quizac combined gaming and learning, giving Roland the joy of an interactive studies, which helps him improve his academic performance and makes him better pass with his parents once again. At Quizac, our goal is to change the learning narratives of millions of African students using games. But under the hood, we are combining amazing learning principles such as the principle of active recall and the principle of optimum inter-repetition interval, which helps us build powerful cognitive model that gives our user the advantage of recalling twice compared to traditional learning model. The way Quizac works is very simple. Students download the app, pick a topic according to their class, match up with their classmates, and we throw them questions they're likely to have forgotten. All this happening in a very fun and interactive manner. Since our pilot launch in 2019, we've had over 10,000 users on our platform, over 300,000 Naira in revenue, 5,000 monthly active gameplay, and we're growing 20% month over month. Our target audience for now include students in high school, but over time, we are planning to expand to corporate organizations and to every individual that find fun in gaming, which should help them improve their productivity. A business model is very simple. We sell license between $200 and $500 to schools and corporate organizations, and parents pay an in-app subscription of just $3.5 per student per month. With this, in our year one, we're projected to do $125,000. In our year two, we're projecting to do $500,000. And in our year three, we're projecting to do $2.5 million. Here is our roadmap. We started Quizac in 2019, and by 2022, we're looking to prepare Quiza scale across multiple languages in order to scale across Nigeria. We've discovered some amazing competitors who are doing similar thing in the industry, but we believe that our competitive advantage lies in the fact that we are the only player with a fully gamified learning platform. And plus that, we're building a mastery point of individual intelligence to better improve how learning happens, not just on Quizac alone, but for each individual. Today, we're seeking seed fund, and what are we going to be doing with this? We hope to use it to expand our marketing, strengthen our engineering, and be able to expand to corporate organization as well. At Quizac, we believe that the future of learning is voice, and this is why we're introspectively deploying Quizac in the voice technology devices like Alexa and Google Home to be able to make learning more fun and engaging for the students in the classroom. Me, the founding team, including myself, Sampson, who many years ago, I was in the same shoe as Roland, finding it very difficult to learn. But then I have devoted my past years, 10 years, to learning technology to be able to build this solution for not just myself or Roland, but for millions of students who are facing similar problems. And here we have my CTO, Alayo Uze, with over 8 years of experience in cloud infrastructure. I meet our Android lead, Hawogbemi Tobi, who has been developing complex solutions for mobile in the past 5 years. Here we have our advisory team, Jason and Hamad. Jason is a Wall Street veteran and an angel investor, while Hamad is a technology enthusiast who has co-founded 4 startups and has helped many others launch across the world. Meet our support team, Toby and Victoria. These are the set of individuals who are helping us channel our core value across social media. And together as a team, we believe that learning should never be an affliction. It should always be fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Tade. So I'll give a couple of seconds for the audience to ask any questions to the chat if they do have any. In the meantime, for the founders, the setting has been fixed for your video. So Tade, you can fix, I believe you can turn on your video right now. And for the founders pitching afterwards, you should be able to use the video as well. Perfect, there you go.
Yeah, my video is back.
Here's Tade.
Nice,
Awesome.
nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. While we start kind of getting questions roll in, I've got a question for you, Tade. Tell us about what is your unique value proposition in comparison with other type of educational platforms and apps targeting students? Because there are many around the world that do similar things. What makes you so special? And I think we're losing Tade.
So the problem they have is a problem of scaling. So they concentrate more on curriculum, which inhibit them to scale into different countries. And for the international competitor, one of their problems is that they are not curriculum bound. And the consequence of this is that whenever you learn on some of these platforms, you can't really correlate your learning to your curriculum. So when I was using some of these platforms, I had a lot of false positive learning. So what we have done with Quizac is that we have combined the local advantage with the international advantage, which is what is missing from those two pieces, and we've combined it together. So on Quizac, we are curriculum focused, which is absent from major international competitor. And with that curriculum focus, we at the same time, we're open to international scaling, which is very, very absent in the local competitor currently. So that's basically our unique value proposition on Quiza.
Awesome. Thanks, Hari. A question from the audience. Daniel is asking, does the model or version of the phone cause any restrictions? As well, is it available for the iPhone?
So thank you, Daniel. So for now, we're not available for iPhone. We are just available on the web and for Android. But part of our 2021 early plan is to be able to build Quizac on the iOS platform. We're working day and night to make that possible.
And we've got a question from Alex. Have you considered exploring partnering your application with any international online tutoring services?
Okay, so in terms of general partnership, because we are still very early, we're trying to test the water and be able to build a product market fit on Quiza before we start, partnering with international tutoring platforms. But in terms of the likes of organizations, corporate environments that are affiliated with learning, yes, we have some couple of ongoing partnership with them currently.
Awesome. Ali is asking, the 5x growth revenue per 5x growth revenue per year, is that an optimistic projection, or is that too optimistic?
Sorry, I didn't get his question.
Ali's asking, is the 5x revenue growth per year, is that growth rate too optimistic?
Oh, okay. So for our first year, we are targeting a projection. It's based on the fact that we're just targeting schools and students alone, which is basically B2C model. But by 2021, our model shifts to targeting corporate organization, which is a B2B model. And most of our revenue are going to be coming from corporate organization. And that's why at year 2 to 3, you see that we have a skyrocket of revenue. And that's why that is happening. We're not just going to be targeting B2C by year 2 and year 3. We're going to be targeting B2C as well as corporate organizations as well.
And an additional question from Ali on top of that is that he's asking what your profit is on the $2.5 million revenue in year 3.
Okay, so in terms of that, we in our year 3, we are going to be having a margin is normally around 40% by year 3, which is going to grow after year 3, basically.
Who are your competitors in Africa, Tade?
Also, currently, it's just funny that I might say we do not have a direct competitor, but those that I feel are doing something related to the gamification in Africa currently are platforms like Niger Kids and Gidimo. These are the set of 2 guys I'm actively following that are doing something similar to Quizac in the gamification sectors of education.
And what subjects and curriculums are covered on your platform, Tade?
Okay. So the way I'm going to answer that is currently, like I said, we are focused on high school for now. But the way we built Quizac is that Quizac is a tool. We're offering Quizac as a tool to students, corporate organizations to make it productive for their needs. And for now, we're putting Quizac is a contributor on Quizac itself. So we're putting a lot of subjects around high school from physics, biology. whatever subject, we're putting it on Quiza. But that doesn't mean that any end user that Quizac do not have the access to do so. Quizac is an open platform. It's a tool. Anybody can create their game. Anybody can add their subject. Anybody can add their topic.
Awesome. Thank you, Tade. I see that Michael Lawal has his hand raised for a question, I'm assuming.
Yes, well done, Tade. That's a great presentation. Just a couple of observations for you, because I know you will be going through the gruesome of raising money on the global stage at some point. Keep your story very short. You spend too much time trying to explain your story. Investors probably have like 2 minutes. If you don't hook them in within that 2 minutes, you actually will lose them. These guys, in as much as they care about your market, they care about how they're going to make their own 10x money. So try and talk about what they want to hear. How huge is the market? How big is it? And what percentage are you looking to capture there? And I haven't been an angel investor in the past, and they don't like when a founder says, we have no competitor. There is a competitor. It's probably you've not found them in your market niche. So try and identify those risks that are competitors in the market, but try to spend more time on why you're different, your differentiation, how you intend to kind of capture that market and scale out of Africa. Well done. You've done well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. One more question from Ali. He's asking, are you using / will you use AI to adjust the level of interaction with students, or is every subject static?
Thank you for that. So on Quizac, every subject are not static. So that's one of our unique value proposition, to be honest too. So like I said, we are piggybacking on cognitive science concepts like the theory of active recall and the theory of optimum interpretation. And what we are doing with this is that we're building some kind of AI cognitive model to be able to tell us what each student are really, what they need to be learning better and what they've known. So this over time is allowing us to build mastery of knowledge for these students and be able to tell them, okay, you need to be concentrating on this and you don't have to concentrate on this. So it's not static, basically, on Quiza.
We got a couple of more questions for you, Tade. And this one's coming from Jay. He's asking, does Quizac allow it so that games are created for specific schools in order to protect students and limit exposure to participants from social media and Facebook, for example?
Sorry, can I get that question again?
So does Quizac allow it so that games are created for specific schools? So, because you were talking about your partnership with schools and how you set it up for schools. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so yes, and a short answer, but to explaining that, when schools registered on Quizac, we're giving them the opportunity to be able to create their own games. So when they create their own games, it should not be available on a home public platform. It will just be pertinent to students that are in that schools alone. So when they register on Quizac and they tell us that they're in these schools by joining the school via the school's organization, the school code, they would be able to play just those games that are created for their schools. I would not be exposed to every games on Quizac, basically.
Awesome, thanks, Tade. And just in respect with time, this is going to be the last question from George. How does Quizac view government involvement in the company's economic affairs? So risk/strategy question. It's like in that area.
Sorry, can I get that question?
How does Quizac view government involvement in the company's economic affairs? And he's posing it as a risk/strategy question.
How does Quizac
view government involvement in the company's economic affairs?
Oh, okay. So yeah, to be honest, part of what we are really sensitive to currently is government policy, and the way we're trying as much as possible to do that is by creating Quizac to be more of a B2C and not totally affiliated with schools in order for governments to today declare policy that would really affect our operation. So if Quizac are just apps that are going to be available for each student, it will be very difficult for any government policy to just come today and say Quizac is not going to be operational again, basically. So we are of course we still keep working around that, but we know it's one of those things you are really sensitive to at Quizac currently.
Awesome. And actually, one question just slipped in from Ali, and I think this is an interesting one. Who in your team creates the actual content? And is anyone in your team has a formal background in education?
Thank you so much. So what we currently do is that we have contributors. We have in-house contributors who are experts in different subject topics. They are teachers, they are tutors, and of course they work in-house for us to create some of this content. Some of them has over 10 years of experience tutoring and teaching. So they do this for us, and we as well, we outsource some of this content creation as well to different contributors online. So if you go to Quizac, contributor.quizac.com, it's a platform that is open to any contributor to come on Quizac and start creating questions. That's after we vetted them and we know that they're really, really an expert in whatever subjects they are proving to be an expert in currently.